The little elephant who could. Once upon a time, in the heart of an enormous forest, there existed a group of elephants. They were the largest animals in the forest and were feared by all other creatures. However, one little elephant stood out from the rest. His name was Jumbo. But he wasn't like the other elephants. He was small and weak, and he always struggled to keep up with the rest of the herd. One day, as the herd was grazing in the open fields, they heard a terrifying roar coming from the shadows of the trees. All the elephants stopped eating and huddled together in fear. Jumbo, however, decided to take matters into his own hands. He remembered what his father had taught him when he was little: no matter how small you are, you can still make a big difference if you believe in yourself. So, Jumbo bravely stepped forward and started walking towards the source of the roar. As he got closer, he realized that it was a lion who had been wounded during a hunt and needed help. Without hesitation, Jumbo offered his assistance and used all his strength to help the lion back to his den. The next day, as the elephants were walking through the forest, they were surprised to see the same lion walking towards them. The lion approached Jumbo and thanked him for his kindness. From that moment on, the lion and the elephants became friends. They would often share food and protect each other from danger. Jumbo had shown that even the smallest elephant could make a big difference. He had proven that being kind and compassionate could go a long way in life. And so, he became known as the little elephant who could. From then on, Jumbo no longer struggled to keep up with the herd. He had found his place among them, and they had accepted him for the kind-hearted elephant he was. The Great Watering Hole. In the heart of the African savanna, there was a great watering hole where all the animals would gather to drink and socialize. But one day, a group of elephants arrived, and they were unlike any other elephants in the savanna. These elephants were led by a wise and noble matriarch named Nia. She had traveled far with her family in search of a new home and stumbled upon the Great Watering Hole. Nia was greeted warmly by the other animals, but her elephants were still hesitant and kept to themselves. Days passed and the elephants continued to keep their distance. The other animals grew worried and went to Nia to ask what was wrong. "We are different," Nia explained. "We do not want to impose ourselves on the others. We will stay here, but we will watch from afar." The other animals were saddened by this news and decided to take action. They worked together to create a space for the elephants in the watering hole, building a special section just for them. Slowly but surely, the elephants began to join in with the other animals. They played, drank, and even helped protect the watering hole from predators. Nia was grateful for the kindness shown to her family and made a promise to always protect the watering hole and its inhabitants. And so the Great Watering Hole became a place of unity and peace among all the animals. Thanks to the kindness of a group of elephants who learned that they could be different and still belong. The end. The Missing Egg. In the heart of Antarctica, there lived two penguins named Pete and Penny. They were a happy couple who loved to spend their days waddling around on the ice and catching fish for dinner. One day, they discovered a beautiful egg that had been left behind by another penguin. Pete and Penny were overjoyed and decided to take care of the egg until it hatched. They took turns keeping the egg warm and protected from the harsh winds of Antarctica. As the days passed, they grew more and more excited for the arrival of their new baby. However, one morning, they woke up to find that the egg was missing. Panic set in as they searched high and low for their precious egg. They asked other penguins if they had seen anything, but no one seemed to know where the egg had gone. Pete and Penny were heartbroken. They had grown attached to the egg. And they couldn't bear the thought of losing their baby before it even hatched. They spent the entire day searching, but still, they found no trace of the egg. Just as they were about to give up hope, they heard a faint chirping coming from a nearby cave. They cautiously made their way to the cave and gasped in amazement at what they saw. Their egg had hatched. A tiny and cute chick was inside, calling out for its parents. Pete and Penny were overjoyed and relieved. they realized that even though they had lost the egg, they had gained a beautiful chick that they would love and cherish forever. From that day on, they raised the chick with all the love and care in the world. They watched it grow into a strong and healthy penguin, and they knew that they were meant to be this chick's parents all along. The missing egg had turned into a happy ending for Pete and Penny, and they knew that they would always do whatever it takes to protect and care for their family. The Tiger Cub's Adventure. In the heart of the dense jungle, a group of tigers lived together. They were ruled by a wise and powerful tiger named Raj. Raj was a skilled hunter and fierce protector of his family. He had taken charge of their safety, and they all looked up to him as their leader. One day, as Raj was patrolling the forest, he came across a tiny tiger cub. The cub was lost and alone, crying out for its mother. Without any second thoughts, Raj brought the cub back to the family. The cub was scared at first but found solace in the welcoming arms of the other tigers. They took the cub under their wing and guarded it fiercely. They named the cub Kiki and treated her like one of their own. As Kiki grew older, she started to explore the forest. She often strayed too far from the safety of the family. It worried Raj, but the little cub was too adventurous to listen. One day, while exploring the forest, Kiki heard a cry for help. It was the voice of a trapped deer. Kiki wanted to help save the deer, so she went to get Raj. Raj was hesitant to let Kiki go alone, but he knew she was determined. So, he followed her to where the deer was trapped. Together, Raj and Kiki worked to free the deer from its trap. After successfully freeing the animal, Kiki felt elated with happiness. She had helped save another animal's life. From that day on, Kiki became the most adventurous tiger in the family. She always strived to help others and became a great asset to Raj. The tigers learned that even the smallest among them could have the biggest impact. They continued to live together, protecting each other, and always looking out for the welfare of the forest. In the end, it was Kiki's boldness and spirit that saved the day. Little Kiki had proven herself to be an adventurous and brave tiger, just like her adopted family. The Tiger's Promise. In the dense jungles of India lived two tiger siblings, Raja and Rani. They had always been inseparable since birth and shared everything from food to playtime. One day, while they were taking a stroll, they came across a helpless monkey who had fallen off a tree and broken his leg. Feeling sorry for the poor creature, the tigers decided to take care of him until he was fit again. They hunted for him, fed him, and made sure he was comfortable. As the days passed, the monkey healed and grew stronger. One day, as the trio was resting under the shade of a tree, the monkey overheard two hunters talking about wanting to capture the tigers. The monkey knew he had to warn his saviors, but didn't know how to do it without alerting the hunters. But the clever monkeys have an idea. He asked Raja and Rani if they could tie him up in a tree nearby and leave him there for a few hours. The tigers agreed, thinking it would be a game. The monkey continued to act as if he was trapped, making loud noises, and attracting the hunters' attention. When the hunters finally arrived, they saw the monkey in the tree and thought the tigers were coming to rescue him. As the hunters approached the monkey, Raja and Rani emerged from the bushes, roaring loudly, scaring the hunters away. From that day on, the monkey and the tiger siblings remained the best of friends, always looking out for each other. And the promise the tigers made was that they would always protect their new friend and never let anyone harm him.